Hello there, and sorry for anyone who was watching me and listening to me talk about relationships. Just my iPad just crashed, and I'm not quite sure why. Anyway, apologies, but we're here talking about successful women, women who are successful in what they do at work, but are really not kind of getting the relationship stuff, the intimate relationship, to a place where they want it to be, so they can be really happy and fulfilled at work. But when it comes to intimate relationships, it just is not working, even though they are really trying and have probably been round the rounds and been out with lots of people, had lots of dates. They just don't seem to find the one, or are stuck in really unhealthy, quite toxic relationships. So let me tell you a little bit about what I know as a coach. I do apologise, I've got a really itchy nose. I think that means I'm going to kiss a frog, is it? Turn into a prince? I'm not sure. Anyway, quite appropriate for this call. So there are two main reasons why women who are successful in their careers, who are happy in their work, who are making money, who have good friendship circles, they're probably out doing some sporty stuff, and they're integrated in community. They enjoy life, but there is a huge piece missing. And as I said, whether they're stuck in toxic relationships or relationships that they're just putting up with, loads of compromising going on, or whether there's been or still is a big dating scene going on, but they never seem to quite make it work. Two reasons. So as a coach for 20 years now, it's a long time, isn't it? I find that the two main reasons are this. One is that somebody can be super confident at work, goal driven, very confident in what they want to achieve for themselves, for their company, and they drive it forward. They're a natural leader or a natural entrepreneur, and they really show up. But when it comes to intimate relationship, what that intimate relationship does, or that space for intimacy does, is it just sticks a needle into a not good enough space. And what I mean by that is, underneath all the abilities, underneath all the driving stuff forward, and underneath all the observed confidence, that there is somebody, when it comes to intimacy, when it comes to somebody really knowing you, when it comes to showing your full self, being who you truly are, you run a flipping mile. Well, you don't run. What you do is just not show up. So one of the most important things about lasting connection with somebody is vulnerability, is being able to show up all parts of yourself. The bits that maybe don't all look pretty, just showing up fully, being able to say, that's right for me. Yes, I'd love to do that. No, I can't see you on that date. Hey, saying that's not quite right with me. Excuse me. So what happens is, because it presses on this really kind of deep underlying feeling that they're not good enough, even if they don't realise it starts to just create this relationship without true and lasting and deepening connection, because you can't deepen an intimate relationship without fully showing up. So if people are people pleasing, or just trying not to rock the boat, sometimes what I even find is people take on just a load of crap. I was with somebody just a few weeks ago whose partner, long-term partner, said, oh, you've put on a load of weight, I'm not so attracted to you these days. It's like, what did she do? Nothing, just took it, went home and sort of, cried a bit, drank probably too much wine, drowned her sorrows, numbed out a little bit, and just went back to him the next day. So what happens is this vulnerability can show up in either sticking with a toxic relationship or just putting up with behaviour from guys which isn't okay. So you let them do all the deciding, and if they say they want to see you in 2 weeks' time, you go, yeah, even if you're going away in a couple of weeks, you just hope that they'll call in between time. So you're never really showing up as you. And the other thing that I notice is that women take the same things, the same qualities that have made them super, super successful at work, and they take it into an intimate relationship. So what they do is they do all the texting. Will you meet me? Can you meet me? I'm free this day. They do all the phoning. They do all the, oh, let's go to this pub. Let's go to this for this meal here. And they never let the bloke be a guy. They never, and I'm also talking archetypes here as well. So anyone in a gay relationship, then these things exist in exactly the same way. So what happens is the woman drives everything and just pushes everything forward, and then the guy's not allowed to be part of this. He's not allowed to do what he probably would more naturally be doing. So what happens in these relationships is that women after a few months say, oh, he never suggests anything, he doesn't want to really do anything, he's a bit wet behind, all this stuff, and they start complaining about them when they've started off the relationship being the totally dominant force. Well, just guess what, girls? I know this lesson because I did it, okay? I did it for quite a few years, a long time ago. That what makes you successful in your career isn't going to make you, isn't going to bring you in the person of your dreams, because it stops true empathy, really true and deep connection. Somebody who you're a colleague with at work is not the same as somebody who you know this, as someone who you want to make a potential life partner. And men and women forge relationship through connection, through understanding how each other feels, through shared laughter, through shared fun together, through shared ups and downs, through honesty, even if it's not always pretty. Yeah? So the first thing that I would say for women who are really wanting to step up and find their one, first thing is to come and join my group, Your Empowered Life, where we talk all about this stuff and lots of other things to do with relationships and personal empowerment. But whether you are someone who's not showing up in a relationship, or whether you're somebody who's really driving forward with just one set of skills, i.e. the commercial skills, and taking that into intimate relationships, start to recognize where you're doing each of those things. And if you're driving forward and just trying to push everything forward, try and take on board, give people space, yeah? And show up as you, because very often that driving stuff forward actually comes from a space where you don't feel good enough either. So when we get to know ourselves, when we get to really check in with how we feel and what's driving those processes, it's then we can start getting raw and real with ourselves and making those changes. Because across the board, those two types of approaches, neither of them work, but they're both driven by ancient patterns that we've picked up along the way, and both can be changed. So if you don't join my group, I hope those tips help. That just get to know yourself and get, whether you get some personal coaching or read some stuff, it doesn't matter. But the first step is being aware of what you're doing. Self-awareness, big tick for that. Or come and join my group, Your Empowered Life. So I hope to see you either way, and I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope that was useful.